everybody. Super excited to see you all here today. We have a special guest lined up for you all, and we have some amazing content to share with you all. We're going to share what's happening in December, and we're also going to share with you some surprises and things that are happening and coming in January. We're even going to talk about our compliance tool, or compliance in a click, with our special guest, President of ANMP, Garrett McGrath. So lots to line up and share with you all here today. I'm going to get started by sharing my screen, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. Okay. So we kicked off December in a very special way. We partnered with the #1 thought leader in network marketing, EricAI, which was amazing. We had our founder and CEO, Justin Belababa, share a Nowsite from the biggest stage in network marketing, Go Pro the experience. And we had record-breaking new sales, the highest ever product satisfaction, and highest ever support satisfaction, which is incredible. And that's all thanks to you guys. You've done an amazing, amazing job. What a way to kick off December. We are officially the hottest company serving the network marketing industry. Drop me one in the comments if you're excited about that. Way to go, you guys. This is awesome. We have been in business for 7 years and counting, continuing on. We're A-rated by the Better Business Bureau, rated excellent on Trustpilot. We've had $20 million in research and development invested. We're in 140 countries, and we're reaching nearly 100,000 users. That is super exciting, and what an update we have here in December to reach nearly 100,000 users. We have the easiest, most powerful system for network marketers, guaranteed to turn you into a social media star, getting you more likes and comments, help you build a loyal audience, and create tons of new conversations. And we are just getting started. I'm going to share with you a bit about what's coming in December. So we have one-click compliance that we're all really excited about sharing with everybody here today. And we're releasing the most powerful compliance engine ever. It corrects non-compliant content before it's posted, keeping you guys out of trouble, right? It safeguards a company's reputation, reducing legal risks, and we make compliance easy. To share more about compliance, I'm going to go ahead and turn it on over to my business partner, our VP of Business Development, Adrian Schnall. Adrian, on over to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today and to get the opportunity to bring on a very, very special guest in just a second. This new compliance capability we have been building, I think, is going to be just a huge gift to this profession, because this is really, really important. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. But not only is it important, right? It has to be easy. It has to be simple. It has to be all the things that every other part of Nowsite is. And so I'm so excited to share this with you today. So I'm going to share my screen here. I went ahead and generated a little post here so you can see what it looks like. And then we're going to have some fun playing with this. So I went ahead and I had my AI generate a social post for me. And I just said, I'm loving these amazing supplements I've been taking. So as you would expect, the first post, the one that my AI wrote for me, is awesome, right? It's totally compliant. It sounds great. It looks beautiful. But let's say, maybe I'm just kind of like the new guy on the block. I'm taking these new supplements and I'm like, yeah, that's good. But this thing, it could maybe use a little bit more hype. So let's try a different version of this post. I'm going to plug in something here, and we're gonna see what happens here and see if this is gonna be compliant. So I'm gonna edit this. So if you haven't seen this before, right, you can go and you can add and make changes to this. So I went ahead and I came up with a couple of maybe a little bit more sizzly posts ahead of time. So here's my post. Here's my version, right? I just got involved in a new supplement company, and holy moly, these things can literally cure cancer. My friend Steve started taking these things just a week ago, and he's already cancer free. Like, you know, maybe I have like just a little, we'll check this just to be sure that it's okay. I'm sure it's going to be fine, right? This is going to be okay. So, obviously this first one, I'm doing a little bit of an outlandish post here, but let's see how our compliance in a click can help us to make sure that we stay on the straight and narrow path, and that we're not getting ourselves in any kind of trouble with our company, or worse, right? These kinds of things not only can cause problems for you, they can cause problems for your whole company. So I am shocked to find that this post is very high risk. But more importantly, with every post, not only does it tell you what the risk level is, but it tells you specifically like what are the things that are wrong. So it talks about that this post is making a medical claim, right? The claim that medical supplements can, or that supplements can cure cancer, must be removed. It's an unsupported health claim. And you're using anecdotal evidence. So testimonials regarding the health benefit must not imply that the product can diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So it's giving me guidance to help me to be more effective in the future. And it's giving me a new post that is going to be compliant. So I recently joined an incredible supplement company, and I'm amazed by the wellness support the products offer. My friend Steve has been using them, and he's noticed a remarkable improvement in his overall well-being. So it's going to not just tell me don't do that, it's going to actually give me something that I can do instead. And I think that is super, super powerful. It's really easy to do this. So let's keep playing. Let's do a couple more examples, right? These ones are going to be a little bit less outlandish because, hopefully you already know you shouldn't be saying that if you're in a health and wellness company that your company can cure cancer. So let's do a couple examples that are maybe not quite so obviously, something that you would not want to do. So I'm going to leave the supplements picture here just to make it easier. But let's say I just got involved in a new company and I'm really excited because I just earned my first check. And so I want to go and I want to put out a post about that, encouraging other people to join my company. So huge opportunity alert. I just joined this hot new company, and within just 3 days, I already made my first $100. This is just the beginning. Get in while you can and let's grow, right? I see stuff like that quite a bit in my Facebook feed. So let's see what our compliance in a click has to say about this one. And I just want to highlight, right? I intentionally, some of these are health and wellness claims, some of these are income claims, right? There's a whole spectrum of things that show up that we want to make sure that we are protecting ourselves as well as our company with. And so that is really what this is about, is helping to make sure that you're safe, but also doing it in a way that always is showing you and pointing you to the right thing, right? So high risk, right? Earnings claims, the claim of $100 in just 3 days may suggest a guarantee of a specific income to potential recruits, which can be misleading. You're using recruitment type language, huge opportunity alert, hot new company may convey unrealistic expectations about the business opportunity. And lack of disclosures, there's not any kind of income disclosure saying that results sort of may vary, right? And so a lot of companies provide those. Sorry, pardon me. So not only do we get that, but then we get a suggested we get a suggested new post. So just started with my new company. I love the challenge. I just earned my commission after 3 days. Interested in learning and growing with us. Let's connect. So fantastic way to be able to use something that's going to be compliant into your post. I'm going to do one more just as an example. So let's use one that's maybe not as not as far afield when it comes to compliant language in relation to sharing about a result or something that you've had. But this is something that, again, I see a lot of, right? So let's say I started taking something, I'm experiencing some great results. So I'm taking some new supplements. Oops, I had a typo there. And maybe I've lost 10 pounds in 30 days, right? That's not an unreasonable thing. People experience that. Ready to shed some weight this holiday season, message me now. So again, let's run that through our compliance checker and help with that, right? Because these are the kind of things that when we're maybe not as experienced, where we're still figuring out, that we don't necessarily know where is that line. And my AI, our compliance in a click, is there to help you to navigate those and to find where that healthy line is so that you're not having trouble, so that you're not having issues where you're making claims that could create a problem for yourself or for your company. So again, this one is high risk. The claim of losing 10 pounds in 30 days may be seen as a specific result that might not be typical for all consumers, which can be misleading. There's not a disclaimer mentioning that the results are not typical or that individual results may vary. And so again, we get a fantastic new version of this post. I'm enjoying these new supplements. They've become a cherished part of my wellness routine. Curious to know more about my health journey or the products I'm using? Message me and let's talk balance and lifestyle in this holiday season. So again, each step of the way, you're learning a little bit more about what works and what doesn't work, what's allowed and what isn't allowed. And you have the ability to instantly get that compliant post back to help you to move it forward. It's super easy. I've had so much fun getting to experience this over the last few days, and I'm so excited for you all to get this in your hands in the coming weeks as well. It's going to be awesome. And to keep the conversation going about compliance, I'm super excited to get to welcome a very, very special guest to the stage. Garrett McGraw is someone who has been a friend of mine and for our family for a very long time. Since 2012, he has been the president of the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, which is a distributor-led grassroots organization that is designed to help the network marketing profession take its destiny into its own hands, to govern, to self-govern, to lead ourselves into the future. And I just love the mission of this organization. Garrett has been a corporate executive in the network marketing field. He's been a highly successful field leader as well. And he is just an awesome guy. And so I'm so excited to welcome my dear friend, Garrett McGraw. Welcome, Garrett, and it's so good to have you here. How are you, my friend? Oh, we got to get you off mute, though.
There you go. All right. Well, it's the waters run deep with the relationship the McGraw family has with the Chenault family. You know, it starts with your dad and mom, Tom and Denise Chenault. Just love them. They are absolutely fantastic. Adrian, we've known you. Feel like it's almost, I've grown up with you too. And,
yeah.
You know, your entire family. So I think I like to say, you know, real friends, not deal friends, people that are there through thick and thin. It's not just a transactional relationship, and very excited to be here together with you. And thank you very much for the very kind words. I will say this also. It was very nice to meet Justin at the Ray Higdon Faith Over Fear event. We got to have breakfast on the last morning before we left, and that was organized by you and Tom. Just want to say thank you very much. I saw him also, you know, do the lunch that was there. You guys had an incredible launch. Justin was really spectacular in sharing the technology. I saw it light up in the chat at the GoPro event where Eric Marina were sharing. There were over 50,000 people, you know, who had purchased tickets to that event, not alone all the group of people that were together and all the social media they provided. So congratulations to Justin, to the Nowsite team, to Tom, Denise, Chenault, to you, Adrian, and to everyone. I'm just excited to be on here, and thank you for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely, Garrett. Thanks for being here. And, you know, I want to start with this, right? You have, I think, a really special vantage point as president of the ANMP, and you're also involved in several other really important industry organizations. And, you know, compliance is a really, really important topic in the profession. And obviously companies care deeply about it, but I would just love, from your perspective, why is it so important for every person who is a network marketing professional to individually care about this subject?
So I believe when you're a profession, that implies a few things. And when it's a profession, people assume that there's a standard of education required in order to be involved and have an income. There's also implied, not only is there a standard of education required and, you know, you got to reach a certain level to earn income, that is ongoing. And there's a level of accountability and there's some standards. And I do believe that compliance is very important. That was the platform that was elected to be president of the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. I put out there 2 words that a lot of people say can't live together, which is compliance and compelling. In other words, we want to find a way to have a message that's compelling. In other words, inviting for a customer and a potential business builder to respond to. So that is compelling, but at the same time, it also needs to be compliant. And I think for too long, the challenge has been, I don't know if it's a blind eye or maybe just putting your head in the sand, or we'll just deal with it when we get a letter from the FTC or we get a letter from the FDA and we're told to rein things in, or we have, a compliance department, and that became more sophisticated as we had social media and there was more of the ability to monitor that. But the challenge is, if you're just the department of no, in other words, no, you can't do that, that is 100% correct. It is the guardrails that keeps everybody safe. But the challenge is, if you don't say what yes is, people will try to figure that out for themselves because they're in business of enrolling new customers and new distributors and also scaling that. In other words, having that grow. So that is challenging. I remember, at that same event, I think it was my very first event, and I was saying the FTC, and this will sound like to a lot of people strange language, but over the years, people have begun to go, you know what, maybe that is the way. FTC stands for freedom through customers. And that is the reality. The FTC is the freedom through choice. In other words, what we're saying is there are some choices here. So how do we operate within the guidelines? So what we are offering is both compelling. In other words, it's doing what everybody hears them to do. They want to enroll new customers. They want to, find new customers, enroll new customers, retain their customers, have their customers want to share with other customers. If there a way that you can make that sustainable, predictable, and scalable. And I think that's part of what you can do here with Nowsite, because it gives you the idea. And then the other part is, like you said, you're not just educating people, but saying there's also the addition of, you mentioned it earlier, Adrian, which is many times you also need to include a link to the product disclaimer or the actual product disclaimer. Or, you need to have a link to or have an actual income disclosure statement. So this collaboration that I believe you guys are suggesting between Nowsite and the companies, they can be more specific because each company, there's the FDA, there's the FTC, there's the SEC, there's all kinds of government regulatory bodies. But in addition to that, you have policies and procedures. In addition to that, you have an agreement that you signed as an independent contractor. And one of the things you shared with me, and Justin shared with me, that your AI can really understand what that looks like. It can be continuously learning, working together with your compliance department, working together with their attorneys, working together with some outside people that are the best thinkers in the world, and bring it all together and have it deployed in an app that works. And that's the last thing I'll say is, I think people are also moving towards technology. I think it has the potential to have people realize, oh, this is like if I were to be an Uber driver, or if I was to work in some other gig economy situation. They have an app that helps me with that. People are kind of very familiar with that. So it makes them feel comfortable. And the last thing is, it also introduces a large group of people to AI. Imagine if you're at your job and someone says, hey, have you heard of AI? And you go, yeah, I've heard of AI. In fact, I've actually been playing around with it. I'm actually quite comfortable with it. I'm not only familiar, I'm comfortable. I got some knowledge. What does that do for you in terms of your job, in terms of your career, in terms of your business? I think it's the direction we're going in, and it gives you the opportunity to become comfortable with that on a large scale. And congratulations on having almost 100,000 current users on the system right now. That is an incredible win to have right now almost 100,000 users on the Now AI site and also program. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. And you shared so much wisdom there. And I think, I want to go back to one of the first things you said, Garrett, which I think is really the key, right? It has to be compliant and compelling.
Mhm.
And we have in many experiences kind of in the network marketing profession, those have been like two different departments, right? There's the market, there's we want to go in out and get out there and do some stuff, and there's the field, and they're not trying to do anything wrong. They don't always know. And then there's compliance, and they're just like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And so one of the really key sort of design principles of what we created is exactly that. And you help to inspire this, right? The ANMP helped to inspire this, that yeah, we need to put the guardrails, but don't just say, don't do that. Give them exactly what to say that they are allowed to say instead, so that we're able to do that. And we're super excited because we're building this sort of general compliance engine. And then exactly as you said, each company has their own unique sort of requirements, right? And some companies are really, they want to be kind of maximum conservative, and we need to be able to accommodate that. Other companies are, maybe a little bit less, they feel like, oh, we have the science to back this up. We're more comfortable making certain claims because we believe we can back them up, or whatever it is. And so we want to be able to fine tune that experience as we work with companies to help their reps to be enabled exactly in the right way for that company's specific products, for their specific sort of compliance guidelines and whatever, so that everyone wins together. Because that's really, at the end of the day, the companies thrive when the reps thrive, and vice versa. And so we have to get everybody more aligned so that the whole industry can flourish into the future, right?
Without a doubt. And I think that, one of the people, Jeff Olson and Deb Heiss, the co-CEO and co-founders of, or CEO, co-CEOs of Neora, when you look at them, they invested $23 million in defending their, against the lawsuit that they had with the FTC in 7 years. And Jeff was one of my very earliest mentors when I was living in Galway in the west of Ireland and living in London and living in Europe. And that was an incredible, so I know him for over a decade. Also, Stuart Johnson, who is the founder of Direct Selling University and Direct Selling News. And very interesting, to also be there at the last DSE where he first spoke right after they had their win, that being Jeff Olson. And it was really blessed to be I was the MC of that event. So you talked about being at events where you can see this escalation in concern, and there's a CEO forum, seeing that the conversations that have happened over the years. I think companies have always been focused on compliance, but the challenge is there's never been a bright line. So the FTC and the FDA, well, particularly the FTC, there's no bright line. In other words, do this and you're safe, do that and you're not. And, the FTC, Jeff Olson shared, they don't really have to also follow their own guidelines when applying what they believe are the rules in order for you to be compliant. So this was really big because it created a few things that people understood. You want to have 80+% of your accounts with the company to come from customer accounts and
Yep.
to be of the revenues. So that puts a lot of pressure on companies that are going, hey, we want to have that, but then they were also proven that you have to have a culture of compliance. In other words, you can demonstrate that you're not trying to tick the box and just say, we told people what to do, but it wasn't effective, or you weren't trying to repeat that. You weren't creating a culture of compliance. They could demonstrate a culture of compliance, a culture of, yes, this is what you can do, but here's what you can do. And they can show their education. They documented how they were looking at that. And I think that's changed things, but it created an unintended consequence. And the unintended consequence is when people or companies feel they want 80% of the revenues to come from customers,
Yep.
and people are sharing very compelling messages about their products. And yes, they may be true. They're going, but I've had that experience. I see my neighbor had that experience. I met this person had this experience. I know that it's true. But if you're not educated to realize that's not what's required here, is what can you scientifically validate? What is allowable under these guidelines that you're sharing? What are the disclaimers that are required with this? And how do you do that? And the challenge is this. Let me share one more point. So in a company, when, let's say, Adrian Chenault's in the company, and Adrian Chenault is suddenly recognized as one of the most successful customer gatherers, or maybe you've got your top 10 most successful customer gatherers that month. And what they generally do is they'll point to, in the field, posts that they use to gather those customers. And then those posts become ready to post posts that proliferate the internet. And suddenly they're everywhere. And the challenge is, sometimes they are super compelling, and that's why they have all the customers, but they're not compliant. How beautiful would it be? And this is what's really going to happen, is that you're going to have compelling and compliant. And the field will figure it out, because the top 10, what you want to see is the top 10 customer gatherers in the company, or the top 100 customer gatherers in the company, to be clients of Nowsite, saying that the post that they posted has been run through Nowsite and has been checked off by the company, so that if you want to repost it as it is, you know that it's both compelling and compliant as much as can be without having the FTC. Yes, I will tick off on that, because that doesn't happen. And that way you show, I've got a compelling post that's ready to post. It's also compliant. We've at Nowsite checked off on it. We at the company checked off on it. The attorneys checked off on it as much as we can. And we can document that. And the field goes, yes, these are the posts that are creating the sales, because we can see it online. And the same with, as you said, enrolling new customers, or finding new customers, enrolling new customers, onboarding those customers with correct expectations. You don't want to do that with your customers and with your distributors, because if they're incorrect, you know what incorrect or unclear expectations are. They're future frustrations under construction. In other words, yeah, I brought you in with this, but you can't actually post this again. I brought you in and told you it works this well, but it doesn't work that well for everyone. And we know what that creates. As a minimum, it creates frustration, but ultimately it also can create future legal challenges, or at least frustration, both of those legal frustrations, and also I didn't get those results, so they're dropping out and they're bad-mouthing network marketing. I believe that this is a really important shift that's sustainable, scalable, predictable, and it's going to make a difference. And I know that there's lots, it's just another evolution. It's just another tool. We're not saying get rid of any of the other tools. What they're saying is correct, as far as I understand, what Justin and Cheryl and Adrian and Tom and Nowsite are saying. Add this into your toolbox and run it by your company.
Exactly right. So we're super excited, and that was just a perfect way of putting it. So Garrett, I'm so grateful. Thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with us. I know the chat has been blowing up. I know everybody's getting a ton of value from this. So thank you so much for jumping on with us. And I know we're going to get to continue to collaborate together in the future. So if you got a ton of value from Garrett in the chat, give me a 5 in the chat. And we love you guys all. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again soon, Garrett.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone. I was looking at the chat that reached out, say hi. I saw Freddie Perez is saying hi. Ariel said hi. So many people said hi. I apologize for not looking at the chat and saying hi back to you. Thank you very much for the kind words that so many of you put in there. And just, I'm not even looking. You guys are broadcasting on the Facebook page as well, to everyone on Facebook. They're watching live or on the replay. Sorry that I was not looking at the comments, or I'm not seeing what you're posting, or any questions that you have, which is know that I love our profession, and I'm very excited about the future. I'm very excited that Jeff Olson and Deb Heiss and the Neor team won the lawsuit that they won. I'm very excited about all the things we're bringing together to create a compliant and compelling environment for all of us to work in, make it predictable and scalable, and what Nowsite is now bringing to the table as well. I think no one of us is smarter than all of us. And I think that's really key. What's got us into trouble and before is this arrogance that I'm the one that knows. No one of us is smarter than all of us. When you have that big 360 view and you don't just get rid of one tool, but add this into the toolbox, we just become better. And Adrian, I just want to say thank you, appreciate you, and God bless you. And Cheryl, thank you very much as well.
Thanks, Garrett. Awesome. All right. This has been good. And we're only talking about December so far. We're talking about what's getting into your hands in the next few days. And there's more and more good stuff coming. And so for a peek at what you can expect coming up in January, I am going to hand it over to our founder and CEO, Justin Belababa.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. What a day. Garrett, that was amazing. Like, I hope everyone understands, I mean, Garrett is a giant in this industry. I mean, everyone who knows him, loves him, respects him. That was tremendous. I can't thank you enough for spending your some time with us today, especially on something that I know is so important to you and so important to us, which is compliance. And that was perfect. So thank you. And I am certain that everyone watching this got a ton of value from that. That was fantastic. There's some things that stood out to me. Look, with this compliance tool, there's no question that we are creating this new technology for the overall benefit of the industry. I mean, this is not something that we're going to charge for. So I saw some of that in the chat. How much is this going to cost? Nothing. We're not going to charge for it. So you are all going to get access to this as soon as it's ready. It will be this month for sure. We just want it to be, perfect before we release it. And as you can see, we're almost there. So this is really, something that we are proud to offer to all of our customers, no additional charge, but also something that, we're going to work to get into the hands of all of the companies at, little to no charge. I mean, if we can get this in the hands of millions and millions of distributors and team leaders and companies around the world, that's only going to help the network marketing industry as a whole. So that is our goal. Like, we're going to do everything we possibly can to get this tool out there and into the hands of as many people. The phrase that I loved, by the way, which I wrote down, and I think we might have to kind of borrow or outright steal in our marketing. I love compelling and compliant. And I saw some of you guys wrote that in the chat too. That's such a great way of putting what it is that we're trying to do here, right? If you just think about our social media tool, that we are trying to strike that exact balance between, easy, simple, but compelling content that can help anyone, double their engagement in 30 days, but we want to do it the right way. Right? When we want to equip everybody with the right tools so that the content is compelling and compliant. So I love that. And I think you're probably all going to get sick of me saying it. I'm going to use that so often. So again, thank you, Garrett. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's talk about January. We're halfway through December almost. And what a December it's been. But I do want to share some huge projects that are under development that we will be introducing in January. The first one is long overdue. We are finally, right now as we speak, we are putting the finishing touches on the complete integration with all of the features of contact mapping that's been going on for several months. Of course, it hasn't gone at the pace that we wanted to because, well, we've been a little bit busy with some other things. But we are full on right now, moving as quickly as we can to get all of these features into Nowsite to make this not just the best marketing system, not just the best AI-powered system, but also the best CRM, the best contact management system it can possibly be. So things like, for those of you who are, familiar with contact mapping, they are, in my opinion, the best in the world when it comes to follow-ups, so that no opportunities slip through the cracks. Their rotations of remember are absolutely brilliant. Each one of your prospects, each one of your customers can be on their own schedule, like a custom schedule, reminding you to follow up at the exact right time to maintain these relationships for the long term. Their search capabilities are also world-class. And we're going to be creating that. It's going to help you make targeted lists so much easier. Also custom tagging, custom filtering, and reminding you about special dates. not just birthdays, but also anniversaries or, work anniversaries or, anything that's important to the relationships that you have. So that is fantastic. I'm thrilled that we are getting this done. It's been our intention since, June, when we came together with the team at Contact Mapping. And while the progress has been happening, it's been happening too slowly. So we are very excited to introduce that. Okay, so that's number one. One more thing, and look, as you know, huge tech nerd, right? Me. So this one, and just unshare for a second, Cheryl. This one is super helpful and practical and amazing. And for all you kind of tech nerds out there, it's just unbelievably cool from a technical standpoint. As you like, just a bit of background. As you know, we have been working on a long-term memory system. Because ChatGPT, great short-term memory, not the best long-term memory, right? So we built our own long-term memory system that can take virtually an unlimited amount of information. And we've been putting it to use in a variety of ways. First, we used it inside your AI, like your AI avatar, training everyone's AI on all things to do with Nowsite. So every policy, every email, every hundreds of hours of me blabbing away on video, all of that has been transcribed and trained to your AI. So you can ask it anything about Nowsite and it will know the answer. It now, by the way, it actually handles about 90% of our customer support, which is incredible. So that was a big win. That was really a proof of concept. Okay. We then working with Ray Higdon, who's a good friend of Nowsite, we created that Help Me Reply, the Help Me Reply feature that any sales situation, it is trained to help you follow up, overcome objections, close sales, know exactly the right thing to say in any situation. And I hope you are taking advantage of that. The reviews of that have been really like rave reviews. So that's been, again, another big win, another use of this this long-term memory technology that we've pioneered. So January. This is really cool. Okay, so here, Cheryl, share my screen again if you don't mind. So as you know, we've been working with our good friend Eric Worre and the team at Network Marketing Pro, and he often does this. Like, I don't know if how many of you were on. He did a great kind of 2024 planning, goal setting training last night, and he often does this. He asks, how would you like to have me as your full-time coach? Me, I'd come to your house and I'd sleep on the floor. And, he has this, this great bit that he does about that. And, of course, anyone would love that. I mean, we know that his rate is something like, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 a day or something like that. So it is prohibitively expensive. But of course, that would be the ultimate, to have someone like Eric as your personal coach to help you set goals and improve your mindset and overcome limiting beliefs, to help you close customers. Like, imagine him sitting beside you, telling you what to say to close customers, to recruit, right? To build your team, to, add new, distributors and business partners to your team. And then to grow your leadership capabilities and your team's culture and improve duplication. And unfortunately, we can't all individually have Eric Worre as our full-time coach, not just because of the cost, but because he's, one guy. But we are solving that in January. This is going to be, I think it's going to be the coolest thing we've ever done. I really believe that we are investing a ton of time and money and energy into this. And I think it is going to be tremendously helpful. And I can't wait for the official launch of this, but I can tell you that coming soon in the month of January, ladies and gentlemen, we are introducing EricAI. So imagine 30 years of experience, something like I think he told me it's something like 1,000 terabytes. You know how much data that is? Anyway, he says he's got like 1,000 terabytes of content, of videos and books, and I mean every GoPro ever, everything he's ever done. Right, every word he's pretty much said out loud for the last 30 years. We are going to be creating and training the most incredible AI version of EricAI that you could imagine. It is going to, I mean, look, as a technology, it's going to be incredible, but as a practical tool to help you on your first day, to help you lead a team of 1 million people, I think this is going to be the best thing we've ever done, one of the most valuable things that we've ever done, because we're literally going to be able to deliver Eric as your personal coach, helping you close customers, helping you recruit, helping you lead your team, as if he were there beside you 24 hours a day. And by the way, yeah, EricAI speaks every single language. So that's going to open up a huge world of opportunity to share this. And Cheryl, one more thing, just share my screen. So yeah, we are going to this is going to be a huge announcement in January. We are going to spend the next several weeks working around the clock to make this happen. And I could not be more excited. I think that this is going to be like an incredible tool and game changer for everybody in this industry. And yeah, he speaks. So exactly. It's going to start as typing, right? Like a live chat kind of thing, right? Typing back and forth. But I don't want to promise anything, so I'm not going to promise anything. But the day where we ask him for a recording of his voice and you're able to speak live with EricAI is not far away. That's not far away. Like I expect that would be in the next few months, truly. That's how fast this technology is moving. The day where it would be like an actual video rendering of Eric, where you can have like, I mean, imagine like like almost like a Zoom conversation, like we're interacting now with EricAI. That's not far away. I mean, that might not be the next 2 or 3 months, but I think it's coming so soon. So this is the beginning of something huge, and it's going to be incredible. So hold on, we're just getting started here, everybody. So thanks. I will pass it back over to Cheryl. You're taking, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. And yes, it'll be included. Yes, it'll be included.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Justin. Lots of excitement here. And I think Dorea had one of the best comments ever. She said, I just have no more socks to throw. I'm just completely out of socks. All of the socks have been knocked off. So that was amazing. You guys are super excited. I know that I am too. I'm going to finish it up here and say our special offer for current customers is coming to an end. Like you have a few hours left, just a few hours left to get our biggest discount ever on the Unlimited AI annual plan. That's everything that's in My AI, everything that's in Marketing AI. Create as many teams as you want, unlimited targeted prospects from our database of 2.2 billion prospects, and you're saving, it's actually over 70%. It's like saving like $1,300. It's like a lot. And you're paying just $480. You can go to UnlimitedAI.now.site. This is for our current customers, and it ends today. There's just a few hours left. For new customers, we're going to extend our first month free plus 40% off when you use code AI, and that offer will end December 21st. What a sock knock in December it has been for all of us. We have, compelling and compliant posts coming up. Compliance in a Click this December. We have contact mapping integration and EricAI coming in January, and lots more. This was incredible. Any final words to add, Justin, Adrian? No?
Not for me.
This is awesome.
Yeah, sure is. All right, somebody said, where are my socks? We're going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for being here. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.